Okay, let's see if this actually goes live. Are we going live? We're live. Okay. All right, we back? Okay. How's it going, Mets and overall baseball fans? Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it with another live stream today. This will be the last one today. We're not covering the Mets game against Kansas City tonight, as much as I know you guys are chomping at the bit to watch the Mets and the Royals play. But we are going to be talking about just the trade deadline as a whole, what the Mets have done, what is their future plans over the next calendar year plus. Justin Verlander trade, really breaking that down a little bit more beyond what we have already. Answering your questions, gaining your comments, all that kind of fun stuff is what we're getting into. And I'm still not fucking live. Why is it saying excellent connection? I'm not live. Connect streaming software to go live. It is though. Okay, let's see if I actually go live this time. Bear with me, everybody. Hold on. Is this one gonna go live? I don't know if I'm live. Why does it keep doing this? Okay, now I'm live. Am I live? Okay, now I'm live. What? All right, this is weird. So I'm live to you guys, but for whatever reason, it's not letting me. That's weird. The chat's like delayed, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Hold on. Okay, now I see that I'm live. That's so weird. Okay, we're good now. We're good. Okay. How's it going, guys? Happy to have you all in here. Okay, I don't know where I was, what I was talking about, but let's get into it. So Justin Verlander has been dealt. We'll share a little bit more of initial reactions and opinions to that. However, I really just want this to be a live show for the final hour of the MLB trade deadline, especially if something happens with Tommy Pham, Brooks Raley. Not even going to lie, I'm a little surprised that Tommy Pham has not been dealt yet. So that's something that I'm curious about to find out if anything's going to happen more on that front. But more than anything, I just want to play catch up with you all on everything that has transpired, share more opinions on all that, get to your comments, get to your questions, talk about 2024, 2025 New York Mets. Where do they stand? Some interesting comments came out from Max Scherzer today on how the Mets approached him. Same thing with Justin Verlander, and the Mets basically saying, yeah, like we're not going all in this offseason. We're not going to be going for the upper echelon players in free agency. So Shohei Ohtani types, maybe a Urias type, maybe a Snell type. So they're really focusing more on 2025 and beyond. How truthful is that? Is that something that the Mets just told both Max and JV as kind of a tactic to get them to waive their no trade clause and get out of town? Is this a situation where the Mets are really going to go buy exactly that? I'm not too sure, but what I am sure of is that a lot has happened in Mets land as of late, with Justin Verlander over the past couple hours being traded back to Houston in return for two top prospects, the 1 and 2 prospects for the Astros. Both outfielders, both hit lefties, that being Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford. Overall, very happy with the prospect return for the most part. Yes, the Mets are going to be eating around $53 million, assuming that JV's vesting option hits for the 2025 season. But I will say, again, that given the prospect return, given that this was a Mets team that had very limited options and who they could deal with based on the no trade clause that JV had, and JV being, of course, interested in going back to Houston, which he won a Cy Young and a championship with and is familiar there with his family and all those types of things. Not shocked that he goes back there. And again, the Mets get a prospect return that we can at least look at and say, okay, that's nice. And not even a week span, the Mets have managed to land 3 out of their now top 4 prospects are guys that were not in the organization prior to the weekend. From Luis Angel Acuna to Drew Gilbert to Ryan Clifford to even Marco Vargas, who could be top 5, top 7 in Mets prospects already that the Mets acquired in the David Robertson deal. You have to be feeling good about the prospect return that this team is getting for guys that, are not getting any younger. They're all at minimum the age of 38 to tops 40 currently. And if the Mets are not going to be in a win now stage fully next year, it's like, what's the point of exactly having them, right? Can't wait to hear Epler's next interview. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least, Daniel. But yeah, so let's get into it. We have a lot to break down. We're going to go over all these topics with you all. Again, happy to have you guys all in here. If you're watching live on a replay, make sure to smash that like and subscribe on. Again, we are the largest Mets platform on YouTube covering all things Mets, not directly affiliated with the Mets or SNY, even though that I have had appearances on SNY before, which I'm very grateful for, but I'm not like directly partnered with them or anything. I am partnered with my great friends at the 7 Line Army. Darren, great friend of mine. 7 Line, again, some of the best Mets fans you'll ever meet. They go everywhere. They will even be in Baltimore this weekend in Camden Yards between the Mets and the Orioles. So if you're taking part in that outing, have a fantastic time to you all. And also shout out Mojo Sportsbook, a phenomenal sportsbook that we have as a great sponsor on the channel based out of New Jersey. How much did I miss? You didn't miss much of anything, Sean. Happy to have you in here. We literally just got the show rolling. When I finished my live stream for the JV news, I took a little bit of a break, kind of like testing the waters to find out when we're going to find out more. Let's see. We already... Harrison saying, check out Mark Feinsand. My phone is blown up. Bear with me. Just going through all this. Bear with me, guys, as I'm finding out news as we're going live at the moment. Again, we are going to be discussing the following, talk briefly on D-Rob, Max, Canna, all gone. What do those things have in common, if at all? Justin Verlander trade, sharing expanded thoughts here. Going to Baltimore, have a fantastic time, Sean. I know that's going to be a blast. I'm jealous. I wish I was going to Camden Yards. It's so beautiful there. I had the privilege of being there for the first time a little bit, like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Great time. Tommy Pham, Brooks Raley, what is the current status on their markets? Are they going to be dealt within the next hour? Because the trade deadline ends at 6 p.m. Eastern sharp. And unless teams are deep into negotiations to make a trade happen, that will not happen. So Tommy Pham, where's he going to go? Is he going to Toronto? Is he going to the Bronx? Is he going to Philly? I think he's going to land with one of those three teams. Brooks Raley has been heavily connected to the Cubs, so that's a club to monitor on that front. Again, I can't get over the fact that the Cubs are buying and the Mets are selling at this year's trade deadline. Yeah, who had that on their effing bingo card heading into the regular season, right? Going through your chat, though, again, happy to have you guys in here. Shout out all my members. Again, everyone watching live on our replay. I'm going to just go through the list. Let's just break this down topic by topic. So, yes, today's the trade deadline. The Justin Verlander news has happened already. As you can tell, I'm a little tired. Long day already because just following along, refreshing Twitter every 2 seconds, making sure that we're on top of everything. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to all my phenomenal friends that are great baseball creators out there that have been grinding, doing MLB trade deadline content, grinding all day long. If you have not checked out the following people, I highly implore you to do exactly that. Mark Draftneck. Mark, you guys all know Mark. He's been live streaming. Very rare thing for him to do on YouTube, so make sure you're chiming into his whenever you get a chance. Great job, him and his co-host for the Mets podcast, the official podcast for the Mets, that being James Shiano. They've been chopping it up for a bit. Pretty sure they're still live. Also, my good friend Borna at Hogwatch, the best Padres YouTuber you'll ever meet. He's covering the MLB trade deadline as a whole, and he's been absolutely killing it. Great friend of mine. Cannot say enough good things about him. Make sure to check him out. If you enjoy post-game content like this for the Mets, but for the Padres, he is your man. And also, Jim, that being at Ballcap, why am I blanking? Ballcap Sports, my man Robbie Hyde. Both of them have been grinding their deadline streams all day long. I know there's many more out there, but just the first to hit the dome here. Make sure to check them out already. If you haven't, I cannot say enough good things about all these fellow creators, all great friends of mine. Very grateful to have them in my life, and they all do phenomenal content for either niche specific teams, fan bases, or baseball as a whole. So I highly implore you all again to check them out if you haven't yet. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, thank you so much for chiming in. Hopefully you are a Met by the offseason. That's funny, whoever made that account. But I think these 4-year-olds are retiring players. Were not worth trading for very good prospects. Yeah, I know. You're telling me. You're telling me. But let's get into it now. Let's talk. And again, shout out to my great sponsors as always. But David Robertson last week was traded. I was at a drive-in movie when that transpired. Had to rip the phone out and get a quick video in. And initially, I didn't know too much about the prospect return. However, the Mets acquired an infielder in Marco Vargas, if I'm not mistaken, and a catcher as well. And Marco, especially, is already deemed as a top 5 to top 7 prospect in the Mets organization. His first game in single A with the Mets, 3 for 5 with at least an RBI and a stolen base. The guy has a lot of potential apparently, and that looks like it's going to look to be a really, really strong return for David Robertson, who obviously is a rental reliever. Mets aren't going anywhere this year. Would love to bring D-Rob back in the offseason, but I don't even think that's going to happen. I think that little spurt of having David Robertson as a Met is the last we'll see of it with how this team is currently going direction-wise. What was the movie? It was the new Mission Impossible. I think it was the 7th one. It probably should be the final one. But overall, they're good if you like action and, kind of the basic storylines, if you follow Mission Impossible. But it was all right. It definitely wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. So we had the D-Rob move happen. Mark Canha got dealt yesterday. Did a little quick hitter of a video as well out of town. Mark Canha got dealt for a top 30 prospect to the Milwaukee Brewers organization, that being starting pitcher Justin Jarvis. Jarvis has around a 4-year ERA, splitting time in both AA and just getting a taste at AAA so far this year. He's a young, controllable pitcher sitting 93 to 95 on the heater, and he's someone that the Mets could very well consider to eat innings for them as soon as this year. Now that both Max and JV are out of town, Mets are going to give a leash to these guys that maybe they normally wouldn't, but they will certainly do that now given the current circumstances. So keep an eye out for Justin Jarvis. If he is in fact brought up before the end of the season, wouldn't shock me with the current direction of the club. But now let's get into the big behemoth, the one that we did a hour-long live show of. So if you haven't watched it already, please make sure to do exactly that. Greatly appreciated. I mean, we had roughly 2,000 concurrent viewers already, over 12,000 views. Make sure to check that one out on the JV news. And that's a big one. I mean, that's the biggest domino. I've emphasized it time and time again. Justin Verlander, who has looked nothing short of phenomenal over the past month and a half of baseball, had the privilege of witnessing in person his best start as a New York Metropolitan, something that I will always cherish, knowing how short-lived his reign was in Queens when he won 8 shutty against the White Sox back on July 19th, I think it was. Can't believe that was like almost 2 weeks ago, right? That's crazy. So JV, again, short tenure in Queens, didn't start off great, but again, past month and a half has pitched really well. And because of his performance and looking more of the JV of old as of late, that helped propel the Mets to get a blockbuster deal in with his former club, now current club again, in the Houston Astros. And the Mets acquired 2 outfield prospects that could really prosper for this club in the coming years. From Drew Gilbert, who has an expected time of arrival of 2025, was a first-round draft pick, 28th overall last year, and Ryan Clifford, who is skyrocketing up the board in a lot of prospect rankings. Many believe him to potentially even have a higher upside than Drew Gilbert, believe it or not. He was an 11th round pick in just the 2022 draft. So him and Gilbert alike were drafted the same year, but Ryan Clifford has taken the minors by storm in just a year and a half, 2-year span. And he's definitely a guy that we will be following to see how he looks. He already changed his profile picture on social media into a nice little Mets Photoshop. He's looking swaggy, kind of giving me a little bit of Brett the Met vibes with the way the hair flows back, even though I know Brett got a haircut. But we'll be keeping an eye on both of them, starting, how they're looking for the remainder of the year in minor leagues. And then obviously next year too will be fun storylines to follow, but just huge prospect depth that the Mets were able to land here with these respective deals. And given the circumstances, if you knew these guys weren't going to come back, if you don't feel confident about next year, whether I like it or not, it's a different discussion. I think we need to have a thorough, in-depth discussion video separately on that matter. And what are the Mets going to do next year? Are they going to sit on their hands? Whatever it may be, we will get into those discussions when the time is right and appropriate. But right now, I kind of want to emphasize more on just the moves that have happened over the past 24, 48, 72 plus hours, and I really look at what could be on the horizon now. So JV, Max, D-Rob, Canha, all traded. Who would have thought heading into the season that would be the case? Really is crazy. I don't know if I emphasized it right, but yeah, Max obviously, huge trade, getting Ronald Acuna Jr.'s younger brother, Luis Angel Acuna. He's a top 50 prospect in all baseball. The guy's an absolute speed demon. He has over 40 stolen bags this year. He has, 40 to 50 RBIs, just under 10 home runs, but the pop will come more as he gets older. Hits for a high clip. OPS is in the 800s. You got to like what you see from Luis Angel Acuna. Has that potential 5-tool ability, which is rare. It's hard to come by. And in today's game, with how the rules have changed too, with stolen bases, Acuna is a guy that, should he hit the bigs next year with his expected time of arrival being 2024, could have an immediate impact for this ball club. And honestly, to play devil's advocate as someone who obviously wants the team to be great next year, if there would be any upside whatsoever, if the Mets decide to say, hey, we're going to go basically into a transition year in 2024, and then in 2024 offseason, heading into 2025 is where we're really going to lock in and try to win it all. If there was any upside in that situation, it would be that they need to give the kids a leash. And that would be the opportunity to do that. you could give those kids a leash without rushing them. Because if there's one downside when you are a competitive team, a win now team, is that you're reluctant to play the kids. We've seen that this year with Buck, right? To a degree. And I want to see Mark Vientos playing every day at DH. I want to see Brett the Met playing every single day at third base. Alvarez is obviously already playing every single day at catcher because he's just that so damn good. But Acuna, ETAs next year. I want to see what he could provide. If there's other guys, Ronnie Mauricio, I want to see him get daily reps too. So if there's any upside in that situation, if there would be anything to look forward to, it would be that. Somebody buy Wardy a plane ticket to the Bahamas, please. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, I could use that trip right now. That sounds amazing. You guys can tell I just look depressed right now, don't I? I am a little bit with the way that this team has been. But I feel like I'm just a spinning image of the hundreds of thousands of you guys watching at the moment. Yeah, let's see. Fire says, where you look down like you were done. Yeah, I mean, I'm not done. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm gonna cover them every day. But if they got to play the kids, you got to give me something to be excited about. Because right now, aside from the farm building and looking great, I'm gutted. I'm actually gutted. Truly. I knew that this was going to happen. I've been calling for that they need to go full sell for the past month now, at least. And I'm not shocked by any of this too much. However, it still is a hard reality and a hard pill to swallow, knowing that this was a team that had the expectations that they had heading into the year. And I've never seen a collapse like this. Like, as a young fan, I've never seen something to this magnitude where it's like, you thought this team would, put their best foot forward at having World Series aspirations. And, their season's done. It was done before even August began. I mean, like, that's all you need to know. So of course I'm gutted. Let's see. Jesus Christ, this comment section is full of depressing Mets fans. No good vibes at all. Way to be optimistic and make the fan base look good. Yeah, I mean, trust me, I feel that for sure. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer or anything. I love the Mets. I'm always going to be covering them and be excited for them. However, I feel like it's normal to just be bothered with the way that everything has happened this year. And I would be disingenuous as a fan if I came out here and said, oh, shit happens. Like, we're fine. We're going to be locked and loaded. We're going to be killing it in 2024. Why not us? World Series is on lock for next year. Like, I can't be that way, even if I want to be. Like, it'll have to take the Mets to make some really significant moves, positive moves in the offseason for me to justify acting with such excitement and manner, if that makes sense. So we'll be following along. I really want to do a separate video or live stream on just Epler's supposed comments to that being in Max. Same thing with JB to kind of sway them to waive their no trade clause to say, hey, we're not contending until you're out of town, so you might as well just leave town. That seems like it's the best interest for us and for you. So definitely interesting to say the least. We're almost at 100 likes. Thank you guys so much for that. Continue smashing that like and subscribe on. Beyond that, though, let's talk a little bit here about Tommy Pham. Let's talk a little bit about Brooks Raley. So these are two guys that I expect to be dealt within the hour. So that's what we're going to be following along and paying attention to. Tommy Pham, who has had a very good, very underrated season for the New York Mets this year. One thing that stood out a lot about Tommy Pham this year is just after a rough start, really came in and held his own. And at many points has been the Mets' best hitter, which is crazy. He's led the Mets in OPS plenty this year too, which is so nuts. Tommy Pham has had a hot market. It picked up quite a bit yesterday, as it has. I knew one of them was getting traded yesterday. I was informed that with people that have great connections that were able to tell me. I knew one of them was getting dealt. I just didn't know who. I knew roughly when, though. That's why I tweeted out, I expect moves to happen within the coming hours, because exactly that happened. Wardy A. Martino said Mets are done. Pham is staying? Really? There's no way. Is that true? Guys, Andy has me blocked on Twitter. Can you guys check for me? I'm sorry. Nope. That's so that has to be cap. Mike Puma just tweeted the following. Tommy Pham poked his head into the manager's office and left the clubhouse in street clothes. No word yet that he's been traded, but the signs point that way. Yeah, Puma literally just tweeted, yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say if Pham is leaving the clubhouse prior to the game in street clothes, my boy's out. my guy's out of here. Yeah. I ran into Tommy Pham this year too. I'm not going to say where or when, just because I don't want to. I'm in general. I met Tommy Pham earlier this year. Got a handshake with him. Very nice guy. Mean mugging, exactly as like you'd expect him to be. But Tommy, just really, really cool dude. Really, really open and honest. He's a really interesting interview too. He just grew on me a lot. Tommy was a guy that I did not think was going to grow on me nearly as much as he has. But with this news that we find out here from Mike Puma, Tommy Pham poked his head into the manager's office and left the clubhouse in street clothes. No word yet that he's been traded, but the signs point that way. Leads me to believe that he's going to be traded. Yeah, I mean, I did not see that thing about Martino, though. Martino didn't say that. Okay, so we're just blatantly lying in the chat. So, explosive, let's not do that again, because if you do, then you're just going to get booted. Like, we don't take kindly to fake news here. It's annoying. So that's the latest news on the Tommy Pham front. Check Tim Brennan. I will check Tim Brennan right now. Let's see what we got. How's everybody doing today? How you guys doing? I'll scale 1 to 10. How are you guys doing right now? Just with the Mets as a whole. Really curious to see how you guys are feeling. Let's see. Okay. Francisco Lindor said his conversation with Billy Epler was similar to Max Scherzer's. The Mets were repositioning for the future. Lindor said he's on board with that vision and optimistic about the future. I mean, with respect to you, Francisco, and I love you, really doesn't matter if you're on board or not. You're on a $331 million contract for the next decade. I think you're going to have to be content with whatever the Mets do. But I appreciate that no less. You've been a great example of a leader in all your interviews and everything. I mean, and one thing that I really appreciate about Lindor was when the Max trade happened, he kind of showed like excitement and interest in Luis Angel Acuna right away, saying, the kid we got back, really exciting, and it looks like it's not going to take him long to come up to the bigs. So it's little things. I like that he's being in tune that way, being aware. I'm sure he's already known a little bit about him to begin with, considering he's Ronnie's brother, but still. People will have their criticisms about Lindor even when he's doing his absolute best. But one thing is certain is that he does have those leadership qualities, and no less, he knows how to say the right things at least, which is good. In prospects we trust. We're at a 5 and minus 12, says William. A 4, a 5. In all honesty, 9 out of 10. Okay, 8, 7, 6. I'm surprised by the amount you guys that have been like positive. That's good. That's good. That's always a good thing. I appreciate that. Always appreciate that. I'm double checking right now on Brooks Raley reports. So bear with me, guys, because there has been Brooks Raley news that's come out not long ago. So I'm just double checking here right now. Okay. My bad, guys. Just double checking all the reports going on at the moment. Yeah, the latest on Rayleigh, everything that I'm seeing is exactly what I told you. The Cubs have been connected with Rayleigh, and they're very much in the market for a reliever, so it shouldn't come as a shock to anyone if Rayleigh is dealt there within the next half hour or so. But yeah, so Pham seems like he's gone. The Texas Rangers are about to acquire Austin Hedges as a short-term catching replacement for Jonah Heim, so that's happening, according to John Heyman of the New York Post. But yeah, that's really it. Like, there's not too much I feel like I need to get into, honestly. Is he sleeping? Who's sleeping? Jose Quintana is a guy that has had his name connected, but Quintana has another year on his contract. I think if the Mets don't trade him in the offseason, then obviously he could be a factor. That he could be a factor for 2025. No, 2024. My goodness. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think that JV news just like knocked my socks off. That, and I got like 3 hours of sleep. I'm like getting hit like a truck right now. I apologize, everybody. And I'm not the type to drink energy. I used to drink energy drinks a lot last year, and I quit them whole cold turkey. I really don't even drink coffee like ever. Like, I haven't had like a true energy drink since like fall of last year. So I have moments where I'm just like what? And my bunnies are doing fantastic, Sean. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah, for those that don't know, I have two bunnies. One is named Gigi. The other is Stormy. They're both fantastic. I've shown them in my streams before. I'll have to do that again soon because they really are a treat. Twins looking at righty bats. Pham a possibility. Okay, maybe Tommy's going to get dealt to Minnesota. I guess we'll have to find out on that front. And the trade of Justin Verlander is official. Yeah. Okay, guys. It is officially official for those that haven't seen. Mets just tweeted the following. We've acquired minor league outfielders Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford from the Houston Astros in exchange for right-handed pitcher Justin Verlander and cash considerations. So there it goes. Oh, there's a lot of hype with the kids we got too. I really think the Mets did well with these outfield prospects. I do. Like two legit potential stud outfielders. Like, that's good. Puma, is there a Puma update? Let's check. We're just about at 100 likes to my 600 live viewers. Happy to have you guys all in here. Thank you so much for chiming in. As we're doing a little Mets free agent, not free. I always say free agent frenzy. Mets trade deadline frenzy. Do your rabbits roam around your house or do you put them in a cage? Both. They're obviously caged by I have them roam around constantly. They get plenty of roaming time, and they certainly enjoy that. Just can't have them fully roam because they could nibble on wires and stuff. And obviously use the bathroom, too. It's not the most ideal situation. Pham traded? No, Pham isn't dealt yet. He's going to be, but he's not dealt yet. Let's see. Let's double check everything. Okay, Pat Ragazzo just reaffirmed in regards to the Minnesota Twins. The Twins checked in on Tommy Pham over the weekend and could be a possible landing spot. So, seems Tommy's gone. We know that. It's just a matter of where. Where is Tommy going is the question. I'm also curious about another corner outfielder in Dylan Carlson. Where's he going to go for the Cardinals if he's going to be traded? Yeah, I just checked Pat Ragazzo Harrison. Thank you. So here's a question. What if we are buying a new staff? We're unloading payroll. Maybe go after Ohtani, Urias, and Juliet. I don't think the Mets are going to. I think the Mets will go after tops and one of those better starters. And honestly, truthfully, I really hope that they land Yamamoto from the MPB. We've seen the great success that we've had with Senga. That's Epler's niche. Epler isn't great at a lot of things, but he has been very good at scouting guys overseas. Hence Ohtani. hence Senga. I think if you could add another pitcher from the MPB, Yamamoto, who has some disgusting stuff, truly. Pitches deep into games too on a good clip, would really be nice for sure. Let's see, Wardy, do you think Cohen's is saving money, is in savings mode, or focused on the long run? My concern, we're back to the same. Oh, no. It's not a savings mode at all. He's focused on the short and the long term. The Mets can't spend like drunken sailors every offseason, and if they're gonna spend, they want to do it right. Obviously, they've tried to do it in a way to have immediate success, and it just hasn't worked. And Cohen has quickly learned that, and because of that reason, he's willing to eat the contracts to get prospect capital, that being in Verlander and Scherzer. However, he's not willing to continue to do that. So the Mets are going to be very strategic about the type of moves that they make and the signings that they do this offseason. And I do think it is going to be, personally, I think it's going to be an underwhelming offseason. I think it's going to be different than what we're accustomed to. I think it's going to be all those things. But I appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mets' new logo every year is wait till next year. I mean, hey, a lot of teams are that way. I mean, it stings, don't get me wrong, but there's at least around another 30 teams that go through the same process. It's not easy. It's definitely not. It just stings more, especially when you're spending as much as you are. You have the ownership that you do, that we're still confident in. I know I am. But you're in a big market too. All these things can lead to massive frustration when you do not succeed the way that you're supposed to. But guys, give me like 2-3 minutes. I'll be right back. Just have to do something real quick. Bear with me one sec. Continue. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat as we're following along, as we're less than a half hour away from the MLB's trade deadline. Tommy Pham and Brooks Raley, those are the names to watch. But again, appreciate you guys. Thank you for the donation, RZN. Be right back in like 2-3 minutes. And we back. Apologies for that, guys. Passing. Why is there so much passing stuff being spammed right now? Nothing happened with passing. Hold on. Let's check passing right now. Yeah. Nothing new with passing. Alonso traded. Yeah. I'm sure, Scott. Yep. You got the sources clearly. Alonso got traded. You guys went in on it. You guys went in on it a little bit. That's actually funny. You guys crack. That's actually some funny shit. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, We're back. Let's talk about the New York Mets and how good they are. How excited we are for this Mets 2023 season. They're so good. So good. They're surely not selling off everyone and their mother right now. They're so good. The Mets are in first place by 10 games right now. They're killing it. They're doing great. They're making me crazy. They're making me crazy is what they're doing. That's what's happening. Passon says Alonso not in the lap. And hold on one second. Is Alonso not in the lab tonight? Is that actually true? I believe I heard that. Hope you guys are doing well, though. I know I said this earlier, but, you know, this has certainly been a drag. Pete Alonso's not being... Okay, let's see. Someone tweeted... Brooks Raley appears to be staying put, as well as Vogelback. Vogelback and Ottavino, we knew that. It's not like they have a big market. But Raley, I think there's still potential he gets dealt. We'll see. You know, I heard Pete Alonso says he has not spoken to the front office about the possibility of being traded. Alonso's under team control until next. Yeah, I'm aware of that. It just sucks that had to be put like in the public eye today. Like I hated that I had to discuss as a topic today. It really drives me nuts. Like what are we doing here? Like even if nothing, guys. By the way, we're 20 subs away for 23,000 on the channel. Thank you so much in advance for 23K. It really does mean a lot. I love you guys to death. So seriously, thank you kindly for that. Really, really does mean the world to me. But yeah, like just the whole Pete thing is so annoying to me. It really is. Let's see. Pete will stay the same reason David Wright stayed. I mean, I just hope nothing. I mean, Pete's a discussion that we're going to have a lot this offseason. That's going to be the tricky one we have a lot during the offseason. Not now. He's obviously not getting traded or even considered getting traded right now. Pete Alonso just said the following. Actually, I'll play it for you guys. This is Pete Alonso right now, pregame. Listen up.
But for me, and regardless of our personnel, we're going to try and win every single game. And for me, my job is to go out there and perform every single night. I can't necessarily worry about the team philosophy because it's just in my DNA as a player. Every time I'm written in the lineup, I'm doing whatever I can to win the game. And however I can impact the team in a positive way, my job is to be the best player I can be to win ball games, and that's just who I am as a player. But for me, and
let's see if there's anything else that they just said. Oh, Lindor asked what he wants the Mets to do this offseason.
To make sure that our farm system, our players that we are acquiring now, and the ones that we had are getting developed the right way. I would like to see them continue to do the effort to better the team. You know, not just stop and say, yeah, we're gonna have an off season when we don't get nobody. I want to be an off season that they're still working to better the team. However it's gonna be, we'll see when that comes. But I just wanted for them to continue to move forward, and I think that's definitely what's gonna happen.
Pham to the Twins for Kepler. Pham to the Rays. Where's Pham going? Waiting on a Pham update. Let me know when you guys hear it. Justin, thank you for the 6-month membership. Love you, brother. It really does mean a lot. I don't know how anyone knows whether or not Pete is in the lab tonight. It doesn't look like we have Samantha. Yeah, I heard just rumblings on it. I don't know how accurate that is. I really don't. Yeah, of course there's reports Alonso won't be traded. Pete isn't going anywhere right now. It was never about that. Here's what I'll also say in regards to Lindor's comments and maybe how they a little bit different than how the Mets approached Max. Because Lindor said the following, and I quote, "I signed up here to be in a winning franchise, and they're trying to do whatever it takes to be a winning franchise. I'm on board. What I honestly think that means is maybe Francisco knows some things that obviously we don't to an extent." Oh, bomb by John Morosi. Mets active in trade negotiations on multiple players. Tommy Pham, Adam Ottavino, Brooks Raley. All could be moved in the next 20 minutes. Buckle the F up. Heyman says Pham to Twins. I don't believe Heyman said that. He just said that the Twins are in play. All right. Mets are in trade talks to get rid of Ottavino, Pham, Raley. Honestly, do it. If we're doing the sell with all these short-term players, that's fine. You know, it sucks when your team gets worse, but they're not coming back next year, right? So if they can move Ottavino, that'll be good too, given his contract status. He's on I'm trying to think, is he on a multi-year deal? I'm not entirely sure. I think he's on a 2-year extension. I could be wrong. Regardless, though, yeah, if the Mets are able to trade all three here, yeah, get it done. Just get it done. That's all I can say. So that's the latest news, guys. John Morosi just broke. The Mets are in trade negotiations to part with Tommy Pham, Brooks Raley, and Adam Ottavino. We will see if they will all be dealt or not very, very soon. The great sale. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. If they trade all three of these guys, it's going to be nuts. And what will happen is if that happens, I'll just update the graphic, the sidebar on the left, I think, just saying, like, you know, update it on, like, the scale of the news that's happening. So we'll see. We have Dominic Leone. Heyman didn't say Pham is going to the Twins. He just said they're connected. He didn't say he's going there, though. All right, guys, we got to follow on together with this. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm getting texts from people apologizing to me about the Mets fire sale. I'm like, dude, it's fine. At least most of them are rentals. It would be different if these were like long-term players. Come on, guys, just checking all the latest reports. So, within the next... Did you see and mention the Anthony Como tweet about Max Scherzer in the front office? Yes, I did, Josh. Thank you. Epler didn't lie. He just sucks. Update the graphic with a sold out banner. That's funny. Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Martino? If Martino tweeted, can someone please screenshot of me? If Martino tweeted, can someone please screenshot, or else I don't know. Tommy to Arizona. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Tommy Pham to the Arizona Diamondbacks. All right. That's kind of a vibe. I'll root for him there. Let's go, Tommy. He'll be happy to be out west, I'm sure. Well, not terribly far from San Diego. All right. Tommy Pham, breaking news. Tommy Pham has been traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Look at that. All right, Tommy. It's been real, brother. Good luck with everything. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I really do. But now let's change this. Breaking news. Tommy Pham traded to Diamondbacks. Traded to Diamondbacks. Let's see what the Mets get. Change that. This is why we prep work. Already have a thumbnail made. Tommy. Where are you? Pham trade thumbnail. There you go. And Tommy Pham has been traded. Let's see what we get. What do you think we're getting? What do you think we're getting, guys? Why did Martino block you? Because he blocks anyone with a justified opinion. That's why. For Jeremy Rodriguez. Who is Jeremy Rodriguez? Is that a prospect? Let's find this out right now. Arizona Diamondbacks prospects. Jeremy Rodriguez. Let's see. Okay. Whoever it is, it's not in the top 30 prospects. Who is this dude? Oh, God. All right, Jeremy. There's a note. What? Oh, wow, the Orioles are getting Jack Flaherty. Oh, shit. What do you mean I got to change the thumbnail again? Why? Jeremy Rodriguez is a 17-year-old shortstop. But what's his prospect ranking? I don't. Okay. He's batting .250 with a .368 OBP and a .383 slug for a .751 OPS at 37 games in the in DSL this year. Okay. Where's he ranked? Oh, wait. Is he ranked 31st? Okay. All right. 30. Guys, to anyone complaining about it being another shortstop, you just get the best available players when you're training for prospects like this. Stop it. There's a very likely chance that the kid will not be a shortstop in the organization if he actually flourishes in the organization. And honestly, it's just the Mets getting something for nothing with Tommy Pham going to be out. So. No, Pham isn't a big piece. You're right. Verlander reaction. Tommy Pham to AZ. Let's update that. Breaking news, everybody. Tommy Pham has been traded to, yes, that being in the Arizona Diamondbacks for a 31st overall prospect. We want the Mets gossip. This is it. This is it. This is what you're getting at the moment, guys. Hold on. Trying to update the graphic really fast here. See, normally this is something where I would just do a quick hitter of a video of, but we're live, so we're just going to roll with it this way. Okay, that is all updated now. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, we're almost at 200 likes, by the way. We got roughly 1,000 viewers. We're almost at 200 likes. Continue smashing that like and subscribe on. Thank you guys so much. Check mark who? So, yeah, the Mets, again, trade away Tommy Pham for a 17-year-old shortstop prospect from the Arizona Diamondbacks. No one should be complaining about the fact that he's a shortstop, guys. You need to relax with that. It doesn't matter, especially when he's 17. Like, you guys realize that Mark Vientos was a shortstop at some point, right? The guy can barely even handle the hot corner as is. He's mainly a DH. Trust me. I promise you it's going to be okay. Promise you guys. Sub count, we are 15 subs away from 23,000 subscribers. Continue smashing those buttons. Thank you guys so much. If we hit this sub goal in the live stream today, that would really mean a lot to me. And thank you so much in advance. You guys have been amazing supporters for me for literally as long as time. I cannot thank you all enough. You're more concerned that he's 17? Why? Why? Mark Feinsand. Oh, yeah. You guys keep telling me to look at Mark Feinsand. I'm sorry. Let me go do that now. Mark Feinsand. What did Mark have to say? There is growing buzz that the White Sox may trade Dylan Cease in the next 10 minutes. Dodgers and Orioles seen his favorite. Well, the Orioles got Jack Flaherty. That means Dodgers are going to get Cease, which is crazy. I mean, the Dodgers were going to get Erod, but Erod said no, which is crazy. But Cease in the Dodgers uniform would be disgusting. Dylan Cease has so much. When he's on, he's disgusting. Flaherty, though, is an interesting one. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. The New York Yankees are acquiring right-hand reliever Kenyon Middleton from the Chicago White Sox. Wow, Yanks really out with a blockbuster deadline, huh? You know, Cashman doing Cashman things. Dude, teams only get so much money to sign international prospects. They're like lottery tickets. The more the merrier. 100%. 100%. I wasn't expecting the Mets to get a haul for Tommy Pham. Tommy, I'm gonna root hard for Tommy in Arizona. I really am. I really enjoyed him. Interesting. The Phillies are closing in on a deal with Pittsburgh. Bailey Falter for multi-positional right-hand hitting infielder Rodolfo Castro. Who we got for Pham? A 17-year-old shortstop prospect that bats left and throws right by the name of Jeremy Rodriguez. And in his first year of pro ball in the DSL League, he has a 250 average, a 368 OBP, a 383 slug for a 751 OPS, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs, 22 walks, and 12 stolen bases in just 37 games. So another high flyer. Was the 47th prospect. Was the 47th ranked international prospect, I believe is what you're saying. Good to know. Get Dylan Cease to LA. I mean, it seems like it's very much going in that direction. So shout out to the 1,000 people watching live. Again, happy to have you guys in here. We're just about at 23,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. Continue smashing those buttons. It really does mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for hitting that like button to help us get to 400 or 500 likes. Really does mean a lot. But again, the breaking news, Tommy Pham is out of town. He's in Arizona with those Snakes. And the Mets get themselves a young shortstop prospect at the young age of 17 in Jeremy Rodriguez. And we currently await, as there is 1 minute left. 1 minute left from the trade deadline ending, we are going to find out if Brooks Raley and Adam Ottavino, one of the two at least, is going to be dealt. Now, how this works when it comes to the trade deadline, if teams are active in deep negotiations, it can go beyond the trade deadline's time. However, if they are not deep in negotiations and basically have a deal locked, they're just finalizing the final couple of things, then it'll likely fall through or not happen. So we're going to find out, hopefully within the next 5, tops 10 minutes, if the Mets are officially done after the Tommy Pham deal, or if they're going to be able to part with one of, if not both of, the likes of that being Raley and Ottavino. Again, happy to have you all in here. John Printer, thank you so much for $2 haul. John says, Brian Cashman's listening to the Magic Conch Shell. Great reference. Great reference. I cannot say enough good things about that. And Yanks were smart. Yanks were smart for actually not like buying. They're not good, you know. I think they know that, so they're gonna just try to go on a run and see what happens. But smart. It ended. It's 6 o'clock. It is 6 p.m. Eastern. Jack Flaherty just dealt to the Orioles. Dylan Cease, is he going to L.A.? Eduardo Rodriguez, because of his 10-team no trade, he's not going anywhere probably. Dylan Cease is staying in Chicago. He will not be traded. Wow. Okay. So the LA Dodgers, who were so adamant about adding more starting pitching aside from Lance Lynn, they strike out on Justin Verlander. They strike out on Eduardo Escobar. And they strike out now on Dylan Cease. The Dodgers will try to roll with what they have for the remainder of the year and hope that that is enough to propel themselves for a run. Replace Epler with Michelle Margot. That is something I can get behind. Shout out to Michelle. She's an absolute beauty. Does a fantastic job as a Tonight host for SNY. Had the pleasure of working with her earlier this year. Yeah, I think that might be it. I think that might be all, folks. We are very much close to being at the finish line, just awaiting word if the Mets have any more moves up their sleeves or if we can call it a day, which I'm happy about because I've been sitting in this chair so long today, getting tired of it fast, even though I've thoroughly enjoyed doing the show because I love you guys to death and I always appreciate doing this stuff. Let's see. Seven subs away from 23,000. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Ron. I appreciate you, my friend. You said Eduardo Escobar instead of Rodriguez. Good. Eddie's still on my mind. I miss that man. I hope he's happy with the Angels. I miss Eddie so much. Mets were talking about a trade that involved Dominic Leone at 6 p.m. What are we trading Dominic Leone for? A fucking bag of baseballs? Like, by all means, go ahead. Go ahead. Do your thing, girl. Go ahead. Come on. Love you too, Darren. Darren, I hope you're doing great, my man. Need to talk with you separately sometime soon. I hope you're doing great though, brother. Happy to have you in here. I know it's a little bit later in the day for you, so really appreciate it. Mets have traded Dominic Leone to the Angels. Get the fuck out of here. Dominic Leone, sayonara. See you later. You're out of here. And that is probably going to do it for Mets trades. Dominic Leone has been dealt to the LA Angels, and I do not give a rat's ass what the return is because it's not going to matter. We will update the board. Dominic Leone, you are an LA Angel. Wow, that's funny to me. That's really funny to me. I'm not even going to lie. Dominic Leone. I'm a mess. I am an effing mess today. Oh. Dominic Leone. That's so funny to me. That's so funny to me. Why is that's kill? Wow. Okay. Dominic Leone, you are an LA Angel. Okay. Fantastic. Oh, I just bought a Leone jersey. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Cue clip of EDP reacting to the Eagles firing Chip. Yeah, literally. That's actually pretty funny. It would be nice if we could like joke about EDP clips, but you know he's kind of a terrible human being, so can't do that anymore. Laugh, he's probably one of our best pitchers now. That's exactly why I'm laughing. Hey, this team can't wait for the Jets and Rangers. Big year for both teams for sure. No, I want Ottavino gone. Yeah, I'm just awaiting word. Oh, that's funny. As I replied to the Dominic Leone move, I tweeted, biggest trade the Mets have made all week. It's not close. And someone replied for a 12-year-old Dominican shortstop. Oh, God. Think we can all agree the Twins had the best deadline. Yeah. They did nothing. Two final deadline deals for the Mets, sources confirm. Pham and Leone. The Mets have traded 6 players off their 26-man roster in the last 6 days. And yes, Eduardo Rodriguez is not being dealt by the Tigers. Talk about a fumbled bag if you are the Tigers, and I'm pretty sure Eddie has an opt-out. He can opt out of his contract this year should he wish. Wow. That 10-team no trade just smacked the Tigers in the face so bad. He said no to go to the effing Dodgers because he wanted to be more East Coast to be around his family, which is very sweet, don't get me wrong, but it's so funny. That's actually hilarious that the Dodgers, I mean, that of course that happened to Detroit, right? When do I expect Mauricio up? Praying sometime this month. Vogelback for chicken nuggets. What kind of chicken nuggets? Are the Mets done? Sorry, guys. I'm just checking to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Do. I'm hoping to wrap things in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I just need to know. Like, come on. Okay. The Mets trade Dominic Leone to the Angels for Jermaine Jackson? Who's that? Let's see who this is. Double A. Ha! Oh my God, he's a shortstop. Oh my God, he's a shortstop. That's hilarious. Of course he's a shortstop. Oh, Double A shortstop, playing for the best name in all AA, the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Love that name so much for the Raccoons. 21 stolen bases, a 248 average, a 768 OPS for the 23-year-old right-hand hitting shortstop. That's great. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh. That's so funny to me. That's so funny. Oh. Oh, what? What? More moves? More moves? Wait, 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 wait. Wait, I just saw something. Where is it? Where'd it go? I just saw something about Phil Bickford. Where? Robert Murray. The New York Mets are what? The New York Mets are acquiring Phil Bickford and Adam Kolarek from the LA Dodgers. For what? For what? Miami Marlins are getting Josh Bell from the Cleveland Guardians. What? Holy shit, there's so much happening now. What? Phil Bickford. I know him. And of course I know him because he's a 5-year Ray this year. What a beauty. So we got Phil Bickford. Phil Bumblefuck. I need to shut up. I'm so out of pocket right now. I'm sorry. And Adam Kolarek. What did we give up? Adam Kolarek has pitched in 1 game this year. Just for cash? Okay. So the Mets literally just took a couple relievers from the Dodgers so that way we have guys that eat innings this year. That's the only reason why we got them. We just got a couple of schmucks. That's exactly what they did. Okay. Bickford. Kolarek. To Mets. Okay. Alrighty then. The hell? All right, guys, breaking news. Tommy Pham has been traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks for a 17-year-old shortstop prospect. Dominic Leone has been traded to the LA Angels for a 23-year-old shortstop prospect. And now Bickford and Kolarek, 2 mid relievers, like they're mid, not that they're middle relievers, they're just mid, are now Mets for cash. So that's where we're at. Alrighty. Exactly how I expected this trade deadline to go. Padres acquired Garrett Cooper from Ooh. That's a good one. That's actually a solid one. Answer me. Idiot. Sorry, guys. Everyone's freaking out over different moves. I'm just trying to check up with it all right now. Did I update my thing? I still. Hold on, guys. Updating the graphic. Okay, graphics updated. Perfect. Garrett Cooper to Padres is a solid pickup for them. He's a good little player. Okay. We got J-Rod. Yeah, I wish. Yeah. Is that it for Mets moves? Are we done? A lot of different moves. Wait, what? Yo, wait. This is actually hilarious. Wait. Granted, I know their farm isn't great, but the Mets traded Dominic Leone and got back the Angels' number 9 prospect. Are you shitting me? Jeremiah Jackson is the number 9 prospect for the Angels. The number 9 prospect. There's reports Scherzer was lied to. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be great if that means the Mets are still going to contend next year. The Dodgers have acquired Ryan Yarbrough from the Royals. Dude, what the Mets just got a number 9 prospect from the Angels for Dominic fucking Leone? Did Epler draft this kid? This is 2018. I think he did. What? He might have. Dude, what? That's hilarious. That is effing hilarious. Oh my God. Luis Urias is getting traded, infielder that is, to the Red Sox from Milwaukee. What? Dude, what? This is nutty. This is nutty. And we've hit 23K. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys to death. That really does mean a lot. What? Okay, so let's recap. Let's recap now. Everything that's happened today. Verlander traded for top prospects from Houston. Tommy Pham traded Arizona for a 17-year-old shortstop prospect from Arizona. Dominic Leone traded to the LA Angels for the Angels' number 9 prospect and Jeremiah Jackson, shortstop. And I forgot to update the bottom. And the Mets got 2 relievers in Bickford and Cole Eric just for cash so they can eat innings for the remainder of the year and see where that takes them after that. But what? What? This is just so much happening. Oh, God, that's funny. That's hilarious. I need to know if the Mets are done, though. That's hilarious. Dude. In all seriousness, as much as this has sucked, like the Mets and everything, they have done pretty well with their trades. Like seriously, like they have, for what they're doing, for what they're trying to do, they have done well for their trades. And I'm not just saying that to be a Mets homer. I've been so pessimistic with them this year. But for what they looked out to do, specifically what they looked out to do, they did it, and they did it well. That's crazy. Steve Cohen is on his way to Kansas City to visit with the clubhouse. Interesting. Okay. The Mets have called up Rafael Ortega, John Curtis, Michael Perez, and Josh Walker. Of course, no Ronnie. All right, guys. I believe the Mets are done with their moves, and in all seriousness, for them wanting to get prospect capital the way that they did very, very well, very well. From Marco Vargas to Luis Angel Acuna to pardon me, to Drew Gilbert to Ryan Clifford. I mean, Scott Barlow. Whoa! Padres acquire Scott Barlow. Wow. Hold on. What?
What's up?
You got Scott Barlow from Kansas City. You're welcome.
Okay, thanks.
If you're watching Borna's stream. Yeah. I'm done with this awkward, let's see. Done with this awkward ass alive. Use English. Lamar, thank you so much for $5 holla. Lamar says, What are we the Royals and Pirates now? I don't care about prospects. Well, Lamar, you should, because prospects become players. You know, it's almost like that's how players get their career started. Yeah. How are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling with all this? I'm going to double check Twitter one more time. We're going to wrap things up soon. Apologies if things are becoming a drag at all as we're just following along with all this news. Okay. Mets players traded is the following: Eduardo Escobar, David Robertson, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, Tommy Pham, Dominic Leone. Received 4 top 100 MLB prospects, 10 prospects on my top 35 Mets, that being Michael Mayer. The Mets are not trading Ottavino or Brooks Raley. Okay, good. All right, so not necessarily good, but Mets deals are done. That's what that means. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here in a minute, but before I do, I want to recap everything with you all. We're doing PR for the fire sale. No. What do you think our rotation looks like in 2024? No clue. Literally no effing clue. I have no clue what it's going to look like whatsoever, dude. No clue. All right, guys, before we get out of here, we're going to recap one more time. Justin Verlander, Tommy Pham, Dominic Leone, Mark Canha, Max Scherzer are all out of the organization in just like a 72-hour span. It's crazy. I know it's nuts. It's still something that I'm trying to wrap my head around. And once I process all this, I'll kind of share further input with you guys. We'll likely have our post-game show tomorrow. We will also be having, I'm going to try to do a video in the next 24 to 48 hours on either just recapping the trade deadline as a whole, but also getting into like really all the details and stuff like that on what are the Mets plans for 2024. How much should we buy into the comments that were made and stuff like that. And he just said on SMY Mets won't go after Ohtani. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they're going in a different direction. We'll see though. We'll see. That's all I really have to say on that from him. But guys, we're gonna wrap things up now because again, we're going a little long here. But I want to thank everyone so much that watched the show. It's my 1,000+ concurrent viewers, for helping us get to 23,000 subscribers. Thank you guys all so much for that. It really does mean a lot. Just cannot begin to thank you guys for the endless support. We're making these trades. Third graders? Okay, Roy. I see where we're at. 23 Mets didn't work. This is what you do, people. Thank you very much. Exactly, Antoine. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Really does mean the world to me. We'll be back live tomorrow, most likely. If we have any individual video content out there in the near future, I will let you know. Make sure to check out other creators' opinions as well, not only on the Mets, but baseball as a whole, because everyone is covering every single move out there in the space right now. So I highly implore you to check out all my great friends in the community who also do fantastic work. And yeah, just appreciate you guys following along with me. I know it was a little bit of a drag today because I'm exhausted. One, the Verlander news happened, then this, but more than anything, anytime that I get a chance to cover news with you guys, I always thoroughly enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for making it worthwhile, as always. And again, I'll talk to you again soon, guys. Love you to death. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out. Lots of moves, lots of changes. Let's see what comes of it. All I can say, play the effing kid.